So here's a big-time throw by West Virginia quarterback Will Grier. It's a 0-0 football game here early. 3rd and 4. Texas Tech has 2 high safeties. West Virginia is deploying their 4 wide receiver spread alignment. So pre-snap, bottom of the screen, West Virginia has a switch vertical concept. So against this sort of coverage, you're automatically thinking, let's take advantage of the middle of the field open and hit the post or the slant to the middle of the field. And that's exactly what Will Grier is thinking pre-snap. But watch where he places his eyes right here, right to the middle of the field, slightly to the left. He influences a linebacker who looked and was presenting a possible blitz behavior, but now he's retreating. But by Grier glancing to the middle of the field, it freezes him, as we see right here. It freezes him for just a little bit, and he plants his right foot in the ground, opposed to dropping back. So he's able to freeze the under coverage with that slight glance, and then he comes back and he delivers a dime up the seam for a 40 to 55-yard completion here. Excellent work. Okay, and it's Grier's quick processing ability, knows where to go with the football, his feet are crisp, he's on time, he's anticipating the throw, and he's manipulating the under coverage. It's a game of inches. So here we're going to take a look at Will Grier throwing a deep post. They're just inside the 40-yard line. Again, a 2 split safety look, so they should be there all day. David Sills, the former quarterback, is in the slot here. He's running a deep post. Safety actually has inside leverage on Sills, or he's head up. Look at what Will Grier does with his eyes. So he immediately puts his eyes to the left to hold this safety, to freeze him, therefore making the throw to the deep middle that much easier. Freezes him for a beat, release, touch, perfect throw, drop by David Sills. Again, we'll take one more look at it. Nice job in terms of protection. Eyes go to the left. Nice drop by Sills. And then he just drops the football. So as a quarterback, whenever you find yourselves inside the 20, it's always really important to be able to identify who to throw the football to pre-snap if possible, and then while doing so, be able to throw accurately to your target so he doesn't have to break his stride. This is an example of West Virginia quarterback Will Grier doing just this. West Virginia comes out in 20 personnel. They have 2 wide receivers at the top of the screen. Isolated receiver down here at the bottom. Man-to-man coverage. He's dissecting the coverage pre-snap, the ball snap. Edge pressure here. His eyes are right to this defensive end here, seeing that he may be coming. Right there, it looks like he's coming. Grier's already made up his mind to throw with anticipation and lead his running back. You see the back's eyes aren't even turned, or his head's not even turned to Grier. Grier is leading the back with anticipation to the flat, throwing the ball in an ideal location, again, like we talked about earlier, to have the target not break stride. See this? As soon as he flips his head around to the flat, nobody's there, and the ball is right at his face mask. This is an example that you have to be able to do this in the red zone. Quick processing ability and that release to be able to get it out immediately. Here's an example of Will Grier throwing the deep ball. So basically what he's able to demonstrate again is pre-snap coverage recognition, midfield. There's that token play action fake. Post-snap, we see that safety back there in the deep third rotating to the middle of the field. Obviously, Grier sees this. But watch what he does in terms of holding that safety to where he's heading to. Okay, he's already rolling away from the isolated receiver at the top of the screen where he wants to go with the football on the deep fade. He still holds him there. Now he comes back late into his drop, and he throws it 48 yards with beautiful touch and elite accuracy. There's no room for error. In terms of where that receiver is on the sideline. He gets an outside release at the line of scrimmage against press man. And there's like less than a foot between him and the sideline, maybe a foot and a half. So there's no room for Will Grier to miss this throw. It's an absolute perfect ball. 48 yards down the field. End zone angle. Eye manipulation hard. See that safety rolling? Freezes him, takes him out of the play, because we see right here the safety's beginning to rotate, right? Look at Grier's eyes. They're still to the right. They're still to the right. Now they come back at the last second. Quick release. Elite ball trajectory. Perfect throw. So here's a look at Will Grier in his feel for the passing game. West Virginia is essentially an 11 personnel. They have their fullback here over on the wing. And the coverage by Texas Tech here looks to be quarters, off man, cover zero, whatever you want to call it. And as the ball snapped, Grier's able to identify that and then place the football away from that defender, leading his wide receiver to the open area. And again, it's the feel for the passing game that he demonstrates on this curl throw. So it's a curl flat concept against quarters. And he's able to recognize the safety driving on the out, fits it in there nicely. Another good example of Will Grier getting the ball out of his hand before the defense can react. West Virginia is just inside the 15-yard line, so they are in a condensed area of the field. Two high safeties for Texas Tech. He's going to aim for a slot receiver to hit that void in the middle of the field. Now there's play action embedded into the play design. Will Grier keeps his eyes up during the ride of the running back, so his eyes are up, and he's able to get his feet in an ideal position quickly to deliver the football. And he throws it just over the top or even in between the arms of that Mike linebacker who is reading run first, and then he just can't react fast enough to the release and the throw. So it's a great job in terms of getting the ball out fast, recognizing where to go with the football, and from the end zone angle, we see it. Great throw. Again, it looks like Will fits this ball right behind this linebacker's ear. And that's what he does. That's a tremendous throw. So if there's a common theme with Will Grier, it's processing ability. And it's his really, really good understanding of defensive coverage rotation, his ability to react in an instinctive manner to this. So he's not thinking about it. He's just reacting. Here's another example of it. Fly motion. The strong safety's coming down for the fly motion. We see right here two high safeties. Fly motion, safety comes down. What do you do when a safety comes down? Well, you throw away from the rotation. Free safety rotating from this side of the field to the middle. Let's throw away from the rotation. And that's what he does to his seam route with touch over the under coverage. We'll see it from the end zone view. We'll see the rotation of the safeties, and he's just doing this instinctively. There it is. He's open, touch, perfect throw. Make a play on the safety. There's a pair of examples demonstrating Will Grier's ability to fit the ball between under coverage defenders. So the first one we see right here, he's able to throw it between basically three under coverage linebackers. Hits the receiver in the chest, but the receiver wasn't on the same page as Grier. He's not feeling the window the same way Will was. So he's fitting it between three defenders. And you probably just need to throttle that route down a little bit. Same example on the next play. Play action, token fake between these two linebackers. Threads the needle between those two Red Raider linebackers. And his receiver's not throttling it down again. So, you know what I'm saying? They're just not on the same page. Route isn't necessarily crisp. But Grier is thinking. Another example of Will Grier throwing with anticipation over, and this time around and over the top of the linebacker to his wide receiver, who is covered like a blanket. So he places the football in an ideal position for his in-breaking route, pauses slightly, throws with anticipation, anticipating that window just over the outstretched arms of the undercoverage linebacker and away from the man-to-man defender. Really good throw. So nobody's going to mistake Will Grier for, say, Josh Allen in terms of improvisational, off-script running of the football. But on this play, he kind of reminds us of Josh Allen. Not really, but he shows nimble feet and the ability to get north and south, find a running lane, and pick up about 20 yards. Show some grit, show some toughness. And he'll do this from time to time in terms of extending. He's comfortable extending. He's comfortable improvising out of structure. Right here, very nice run up the chute. This is an example of, at times Will Grier's arm isn't what you would really want in terms of that ideal arm strength. Now, this is a pass that should have been intercepted in the end zone. And the ball just, there's not a lot of steam on the back end and it dies. Now, Grier thought this was quarter, so he's throwing it early. But this is still not the type of throw you would like to see from your quarterback in this situation. Here's a questionable decision inside the 5-yard line by Grier. So as we see, the Kansas Jayhawks have they got two safeties deep. They're daring West Virginia to run the ball. They're just daring them to. But West Virginia throws it. And the wide receiver down here at the bottom of the screen just has an average split. He's going to try to run a slant in there. At the top of the screen, we got David Silva's running a whip. Grier makes up his mind that he's throwing the slant. But that safety right here is over it, so he doesn't even see it. He just predetermines it, throws it, and then it's picked off by the safety at the goal line. So that's a bad decision by Grier. How could the Mountaineers have remedied this situation and avoided this? Well, they could have ran the football, or Grier could have extended the play off script after the play action, say nothing's there, I'm going to create, or they could have had 12 run maybe a whip as well and see if that could have created separation, but a bad decision by him there.